What would you do if you were stuck on a road that goes nowhere? This is the fate of our characters in It Ends. Tyler is picking up James, Fisher, and Day. The four of them have a close-knit bond and are longtime friends, three of which have just graduated from college and are starting their lives as Tyler has chosen to begin working by himself without any college degree, which is a bad thing. Trade school, kids. Trade school pays. That's it. While driving down this very long road, the friends get lost, sort of. They're trapped on a road that's seemingly never ending. Now, the four of them theorize several things. Maybe they died, maybe they're in limbo, maybe it's a test from God. When they stop, they're attacked by a mob of people and they keep driving. They're then shockingly rational in accepting their fates. They realize that they need to figure out the rules, so to speak. The gas never runs out. The engine is broken, but it still runs. They never get hungry, they never have to use the restroom, they never get thirsty. They typically have about 90 seconds before getting mobbed. They commit to keep driving to see how far they can go as they establish a routine, and eventually, it's too much for one of our characters by the name of Tyler, as he chooses to tap out. He tells James it's okay as he, Day, and Fisher leave Tyler behind to continue on. It's at this point, I think it's worth speculating on what the road is and what this all means. Granted, I do believe this is fully up to interpretation to the individual. What I think I'm seeing is that this road is seen as the road of life. As you begin, things are chaotic. People trying to hurt you, get in your car, in your group of friends, forcing their way in your life. As you go further and further, sometimes people just give up and you lose them. On a personal level, I had someone who was, I would consider a very close personal friend in our group that just dropped out of the sky, whom I haven't spoken to in 6 years. They decided to get out of the car while the rest of us kept going. That was his call. It sucks, and on some level, but that's just part of life, unfortunately. With Tyler gone, Fisher, Day, and James commit to continuing down this path, a routine, as this journey continues on and on. They celebrate birthdays, have milestones, they begin to figure out and how to work together. They scavenge cars, use their phones when they can to view things. On some level, they have a degree of structure. But as the miles tick and they continue approaching 1,000,000 miles, it begins to wear on them, as the road is never ending. And I actually sat down and did the math. Assuming they go at least 50 miles per hour, 24 hours a day, it would still take them over 2 years to hit the 1,000,000 mile mark. At around 875,000 miles, Day and Fisher hit their limits. It's clear that they lean on each other a lot more than James with either of them, and honestly, yeah, that kind of fits. In some friend groups, you have people that lean on each other maybe a little too much. It becomes a problem, almost something that they become too codependent on one another. They can't exist without each other. Day and Fisher, I don't know if the phrase comes to terms with it is accurate with their situation, but they eventually want to stop going, and they want James to accept their fate as well. They even go so far as to turn off the car and fight James for the keys, telling him it's okay and it's time to just accept it. But James refuses. He fights for the keys and prays to whatever might be out there to let the car start one more time, and mercifully, it does. He drives off angry at Day and Fisher as they sit down and hold each other in the night. And let's stop one more time to go to my philosophy corner here. If this is the road of life, then all this is meant to be James losing touch with his last few friends from college and high school. As we grow up, we grow out of some friendships. Even as adults, we sometimes grow out of each other as we move into new roles in our lives. I can honestly say from the time I graduated college to now, I've had 1, 2, 3 adult jobs. And I can legitimately say I think I have 1.5 friends from all 3 that I've attained, that I've added to my group of core people, because there's something different when you're in high school and college, trauma bonding, having those moments together, versus when you become an adult and you make friends. You can be cool with one another, but there's something different there. Maybe that's just me. It's also sad to see the inevitable breakdown of friendships as adulthood begins, and it's haunting. Fernie talks about what a special time high school was, but I also think college is too. What a time to make friends and lose things. Trauma bonds us when we have our first jobs and maybe we have to sneak out to hang out, or trauma bond dealing with a difficult coworker or difficult manager we all hate. Those good times with great people that we lose. So what do? Well, James keeps driving. Eventually, he passes Rain and the 1,000,000 mile mark until he reaches the end of the road. He is distraught to see it's nothing but an empty field. I even believe James considers giving up, but he can't. It might sound stupid, but I don't blame James. You keep going no matter what. Until I'm dead, you keep going. There's the story of a guy who falls into a hole, and the doctor walks by. The guy says, "Hey doc, can you help me out?" The doctor writes him a prescription and throws it into the hole and moves on. A priest walks by, and Bob says, "Hey father, can you help me out?" The priest says, "I will pray for you, my son," and walks away. Finally, his friend John walks by, and he says, Bob tells John, "Hey John, can you help me out?" And John jumps into the hole. Bob says, "What, are you stupid? Now we're both trapped." And John says, "Yeah, but I've been here before, and I know the way out." James resolves to turn around and even picks up a guy and puts him in the car, and they actually start to chat and talk and bond. To me, this is the definition of a beautiful ending. The way back through all this is human interaction and resolve of steel. James now knows the way out. Go back down that road. James will drive the 1.1 million miles it takes for him, and it will take him years, but he will not quit, and he even has a friend now. And maybe on the road back, he can resolve to forgiving Day and Fisher and grab them too, maybe even Tyler. On the road of life, it's not always so straightforward, but maybe you can come back from anything. While the ending is technically ambiguous and almost pessimistic, people might hate it. I love it because I believe in James, and I know he'll find his way out of it. But that's it. What did you think of It Ends? Let us know down below. We'd greatly appreciate it. Did you see it while it was available on Letterboxd, or will you be watching it in theaters this year? Brought to you by Neon. Let us know down below. We'll catch y'all soon. Bye, everybody.